Now, I want to take you back to 1995, and there was a young singer by the name of Alanis Morissette who came onto the scene, and she burst onto the scene with her album Jagged Little Pill. She became the best-selling international debut artist in history. It was massive, and over 25 years later, the album remains just as influential and just as powerful, and it's now been turned into a musical, no less. Jagged Little Pill tells the story of the Healeys, a perfectly imperfect family with a lot of healing to do, in fact. And it's pretty confronting, this show. It doesn't hold anything back, but it is just terrific. And it's about to hit the stage at the Theatre Royal in Sydney. And Aussies, get this, will be the first outside of Broadway to see it. How lucky are we? Leading the cast is one of our best entertainers, Natalie Bassingthwaite, who plays the role of Mary Jane. The music is just beautiful, it really is. And I'm pleased to say that Nat Bass herself joins us now. Welcome to Afternoons, Nat.
Oh, hello. So great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Are you sounding a little bit nervous about having to sing these amazing songs by Alanis Morissette?
Before I auditioned for the show, I was nervous. Now I've got the role. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, you always wonder. They're massive. They're anthems, and it's taken a lot to really get to the level that I feel really comfortable in, but it'll be, we're maintaining vocal health and fitness and things like that. So 8 shows a week.
Well, this
well,
is
only
it.
for 2.5 weeks in Sydney though.
Well, this is it, because it is a different ball game from performing as you're familiar with for recording albums or doing concerts. But I mean, touring is, you need stamina for that. But this sort of performance, as you say, regular shows on long stints. I mean, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, look, for me, I find, especially with a big singing show, I do prep for probably a couple months before. And that's for me, warming my voice up every day and, getting it more malleable and just really loose and relaxed. And then that also includes physicality as well. So I like meditation, and breathing is hugely important, Pilates. So for me, it's a real combination. Otherwise, what I've learned in the past is it's all about being relaxed and being in the zone. And then it's like your voice can I found that my voice can just hit anything if I'm just in this really nice space where I've done all the work. I mean, first of all, I have to know that I've done all the work, because you get so anxious if you haven't done all the work. But look, it's just a really special piece. I've worked my butt off. I'm still working my butt off. We're in rehearsals at the moment, and it's just a thrill to be back working.
Yes, on stage. Yeah. Well, we're thrilled too as audience members, don't you worry. There's nothing quite like live shows, and it's so great that we're actually able to appreciate them. And this is the first time people outside of Broadway here in Australia. How lucky are we to get to see this show?
It really is such a special piece. It was 7 years in the making. Alanis and the team worked together to write a really important, special story as well. So to complement the music, sometimes you see shows that, they're like jukebox musicals and it doesn't really sort of slot in there. But this is it really moved me so much. Like, there were a lot of tears, there were lots of laughter. And it felt seamless. The writer, Diablo Cody, won an Academy Award for Juno. So we've got her with Alanis music, and it's just a win-win combination. It's awesome.
And it uses the album, the musical, as you say, it sort of complements telling this story of this family. Tell me a little bit about the album itself, though. Were you a big fan back in the day when it came out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think anyone wasn't. I mean, I was 20 when it came out, so it was just iconic for me. It felt like it was fit right in that pocket of, I sort of had more angst as an early 20s than that teenage angst. So I had a real struggle those early 20s, and I felt like I kind of went on the ride with Alanis, and that she kind of gave us permission to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to speak up, to be able to be heard. And obviously that's so prevalent right now more than ever. Yes. It feels like this album was written yesterday for right now. That's how bizarre it is for me, and very powerful.
And as part of the preparation, as you say, you've done a lot of prep, and there's been a big lead up to this. And you were in New York recently for Jagged Little Pill. What was that like? First off, getting on a plane and going into the big wide world out there.
I mean, I live in Byron Bay now, so I don't get to the city that often anymore. So getting on a plane was really it was so quiet, because, nothing's open or no one was flying. So it was, one of probably 20 people flying out in the entire airport. Landing in New York was bizarre. It was like as if, nothing had happened. There's masks everywhere, of course. You have to check in with your double vax certificate, and there's rules and things, exactly what we're doing here now or about to do. A little bit surreal and incredibly magical to think, oh my gosh, this is all happening again, and life. And to think, it's been a struggle for so many, for so long, and to go, oh, it can get back to normal. Like it really can. And so that gave me a lot of hope and a lot of, I was really inspired. I got to work with the creatives over there, which was just mind blowing, watching the process, go to the theater on Broadway and just check out the set and everything. And then I went to see lots of shows because it was the first time in 18 months that Broadway was opening up. So it was it was electric. Everyone in that audience were like, they've been starved of connection to people and stories and movement. And music does fill your body with all sorts of shenanigans, good, bad, and indifferent.
Yes.
But it fills our souls, I think. And it's been really missed. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get back home and on the stage and people are going to come to the theater again. And yeah, it was definitely, I was pinching myself the whole time.
And you'll be doing it again. You'll be bringing that feeling here to Australia.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. How lucky. Mind-blowing.
Well, we're lucky that you're in the role. It's really exciting. And I mean, it's been so difficult the last couple of years for everyone. We've talked a lot about it on this show. We've had a lot of artists on and the excitement that it is starting to come back. But you have been luckier than many because you had Chess the Musical as well that managed to at least finish the Australian tour without a single cancelled show, which when you think about it is incredible.
I mean, every state we got to, it was almost shut down because of COVID. Like we left Melbourne and then we got to Adelaide, and as soon as we got there, we were rehearsing on the stage and they're like, everyone get off the stage. Everyone has to get a COVID test. And we were opening the next night. We're like, we haven't finished rehearsing on the stage. And then everyone got cleared and then we got to do the show. And then Perth were like, we're not letting you in because some people are from, like it was touch and go the whole tour. So quite stressful for the producers, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we were really fortunate. I mean, I think I kind of worked out roughly, I probably worked about 3 months of that 18 months, which isn't great, but it's better than a lot of my friends. This, you think of, it's not just the performance, it's the soundies, the crews, like everyone just lost work and their livelihood. And
that's why it was so wonderful
really sad to me.
When Come From Away was back on stage, when they had that standing ovation and they invited all the ushers and all of the ticket sellers and all the people who are involved on stage to give them a round of applause as well. Because as you say, there's a lot of people.
It is. Yeah, it does. It takes in a lot of people's livelihoods,
Definitely.
Yeah.
And apart from getting ready for Jagged Little Pill, you're also going to be starring alongside Tom Hanks, thank you very much, in Baz Luhrmann's upcoming film Elvis. How about that? What's that been like?
Well, it was just surreal. I was like, what? They're like, I played Elvis's stepmom, Dee Stanley. So the first day that I was on set, it was a scene that Tom Hanks was in. I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like, that's Tom Hanks.
And he's got like all of this, stuff. I can't kind of give too much away, but he doesn't look like Tom Hanks, right? It's him because his voice is so, Tom Hanks's voice, and you can tell by his eyes, but he, the character he's playing is extraordinary. And I'm, my husband is Richard Roxburgh and in the show. And yeah, it was, I just remember Tom Hanks coming up to me and we were filming a Vegas scene with like 450 extras, and Tom Hanks comes up and goes, oh, hi, I'm Tom. I haven't met you yet. How, I'm like, hi. Hi, Tom Hanks. Like,
wow.
It was him. I mean, he's an absolute icon and someone
and
that
a nice
I've
guy though, right?
Admired.
Everyone says how great he is.
Oh, she was so lovely. And, working with Baz was so inspiring, and being next to Richard, and they're just, they have this like mammoth thing of their work is just so large. And I'm now, a part of that, which was just wild.
Well, deservedly so, if I can say so, because you are an absolute superstar. And even better, Jagged Little Pill is not just opening in Australia, that's brilliant, but it's also opening at the Theatre Royal in Sydney on December 2nd. And I think that's going to be the first show for that newly renovated theatre.
It is. So we only have, because of COVID, we were supposed to open in September. So we've only got a 2.5-week run in Sydney, not much. And then we have to chuff off to Melbourne. But the theatre, I started my career in that theatre 20-something years ago in Rent the Musical. So to kind of go back it will be so incredible and beautiful and bizarre and all the things, all the feels.
Yes, going full circle. Well, we're really
as an adult,
as a fully formed grown up. Well,
I'm an adult now.
Well, congratulations. Jagged Little Pill opens on December the 2nd at the Theatre Royal, as we say. For more info, you can visit jaggedmusical.com. Get your tickets soon because it'll sell out fast. Don't you worry about that. Nat Bass, lovely to talk to you. Thank you for joining us.
Lovely to see you.